right, before I start, don't make fun of this terrible Doom 2016 gameplay. All right, I just got it for my PC, and I'm just learning how to use mouse and keyboard. I grew up playing with a controller. I'm not used to this. The only reason why I'm even playing with the Doom like this is because I want to get used to mouse and keyboard because I suck at it. I want to get better at it. If you want proof that I suck at it, I just got the Bronze 2 and Marvel Rivals on PC after playing it for like since it came out. So don't make fun of this terrible Doom gameplay, okay? Get out of the way. I don't want to hear anything in the comment. Get out of the way. Let's talk about Daredevil. So I watched the premiere two episodes of Daredevil this morning, and it's been stewing in my old noggin for like pretty much all day. I've been thinking about it all day, and there's one little thing I can't get over. Like I can't. I don't know why. Like I just don't know how to feel about it. I just felt the need to talk about it. I don't know why. I don't usually make these type of videos, even on my second channel, which was gonna be on. But I usually don't make videos where I talk about my immediate thoughts on like an episode. I used to when I was first starting out, but like this is the first time I've done it in a while. So obviously spoilers for the first two episodes of Daredevil Born Again. If you haven't seen that yet, please click off the video. Or maybe even some spoilers for some other stuff, like probably most likely the original Daredevil Netflix show. So if you haven't seen any of that, just click out the video, watch it when you watch those two episodes at least. But yeah, so I'm gonna jump into it. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about Foggy dying. So on paper, it makes complete sense. Like I get what the writers are trying to do. So the whole premise of this season of Daredevil, this is very clearly a continuation of the Netflix show, not like a soft reboot like I think it was initially pitched to be, which is an amazing change that they did. I'm so glad they did that. But I think the idea for the show is seeing Matt give up the mantle of Daredevil, and kind of becoming reborn into that's what the subtitle of the show means. He has to figure out his way back to becoming the Daredevil, the Devil's the Hell's Kitchen's devil or something. I don't remember what it's called. Man Without Fear, whatever. Like that. He's figuring out how to be Daredevil again. But something has to happen to make him want to leave the mantle in the first place. And I think having one of his best friends getting killed off, that's a good reason for him to give up the mantle. Like that makes complete sense on paper. But in execution, in the actual episode itself, I don't think they earned it the way that they intended it to be shown. And that's kind of what I'm dealing with. That and like just the production aspect of it, which I'll get into that in a second. But okay, so how the scene plays out, and I watched this really early in the morning, so I don't really remember it very well. But I feel like it would have been more impactful, one, if Matt actually killed Poindexter, if he actually killed Bullseye. And I know, like, Marvel's not going to kill off one of Daredevil's most popular villains because they could use him in later seasons or later, like, other series or whatever. So I get that aspect of it. But I feel like, Matt's things like, I can't kill people. Like, that's crossing the line. If I kill people, then, like, that I went too far. So I feel like that in and of itself, if he killed someone for selfish reason, for him killing his best friend, that would have been enough for Matt to leave the mantle behind. Now, I get why he did. Like, it was attempted murder. Like, he basically he pushed Poindexter off the roof with the intentions of killing him, which I can see why he would be like, I need to be locked up, or not locked up. I need to leave this part of my life behind me. I get that. But I think it would be more impactful if he stayed dead, or at least Matt thought that he was dead. Now, I don't like it when in stories like a character is perceived to be dead, and then, oh no, he comes back later on in the movie or later on in the season and he's not actually dead. But I think for the purpose of this show, it would have been better if they thought he was dead. But no, he immediately starts breathing again when Matt pushed him off the roof. The other thing is, I think it would have been better if Foggy's death was directly Matt's fault. Now, someone made this argument on one of the Discord servers I'm in, which I didn't really think about, but yeah, it kind of makes sense. Um, so he was saying that if Matt didn't take so much time to get changed to his Daredevil outfit, he probably could have saved Foggy. Which, I mean, that's not it's not wrong. Obviously, that's not the writer's intentions. I think that he changed it to his suit for fan service, and I think the fans were service in that scene. It was definitely cool to see like a comic accurate Daredevil depiction with a bigger budget than the Netflix show did. Granted, there's a lot of CGI used in that sequence where he's like swinging around with his little rope thingy. I don't know what it's called because I don't read comics, but it was so cool to see, like, because that's something we would never see in the original show, because Netflix just didn't have that budget at the time. So yeah, like that was cool to see. So I don't think that's really the fault of the writing. It's just kind of like, oh, it's a little nitpick. But yeah, other than that, Foggy's death wasn't really on Matt. Like it just kind of happened. If anything, it's probably more of Foggy's fault that he died, which is kind of it's kind of messed up to say, but he could have told Daredevil, like, hey, I got this guy sitting in my house. You might want to just have the suit on standby or something to make sure. But his excuse was, I don't want you to have an excuse to be Daredevil or whatever. Which, I mean, that makes sense. That's fair. But again, I just don't think it was enough for me to be like, this was enough for Matt to leave the mantle of Daredevil, and also again a reason for Foggy to die. And that leads into my other point, the production side aspect of it. I can't imagine how Eldon Henson, the guy that plays Foggy in the Netflix series, I can't imagine how he felt reading that script when he came back. Cause like I can't imagine like being on a really popular and successful TV show, only for it to be prematurely canceled. Granted, like it had 3 seasons, which is more than the other Netflix shows had, but still prematurely canceled. They had plans for a 4th season, but it never came to be. Only to hear that Disney's picking up the show for a revival, and not knowing if you're gonna be coming back. Cause I don't think it was in the plans for Foggy or Karen to come back at all. It's just gonna be Matt and Kingpin. Those are the fan favorite characters from the Netflix show. But then you get the call, okay, yeah, we want you back, but then you're dying in the first 15 minutes of the first episode. Like I can't imagine what that feels like. And part of what made Daredevil so great, besides the action and like the writing and the themes and all that stuff, was the side characters, Matt's supporting system. I think Karen and Foggy were probably the best supporting cast members of the Netflix shows, because they offered, and I'm not saying the other supporting cast didn't have this in their other Netflix shows, but Foggy and Karen were pretty much, they offered levity whenever Matt's storyline, the A plot, got too crazy, got too dark, and they offered sort of that levity. Sure, they went through their own like turmoils in their B plot, because they definitely went to the ringer for sure on their own. But I think they gave Matt a break from his life as a vigilante, kind of giving him like his normal life essentially, and to have them gone, because Karen's not in the picture either. Like her reasons for not being in the show, I don't really agree with either. It's kind of like she had a fallout with Matt after he decided not to be Daredevil anymore, and I don't know. And then she moved to California. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I could see her maybe being a supporting character in the Punisher TV show or like TV special, whatever it's gonna be. But yeah, no. Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of of Foggy and Karen not being in the show anymore. Like they were pretty much the heart of the Netflix show. Like they were Matt's best friends. They were his support system, and Matt's gonna have a different cast of people as his support system, and time will tell if they're good or not. But there's always going to be that hole that Karen and Foggy left, and I was kind of hoping they'll be in the show longer. Like when I heard they were coming back, I was like, oh, it's going to be like the original run of the show. But then I actually heard that the writers made a decision that a lot of people weren't going to agree with, and I was like, oh, they're going to kill off Foggy and Karen, and lo and behold, they kill off Foggy. So yeah, I just, and I get it. Like I think again, if for the story like a story like this where Matt is going to give up being Daredevil for a little bit, I understand why this had to happen. Like a lot of shows have done similar things, like Attack on Titan, and that's an anime. Attack on Titan season 4 cut off a really very beloved character, but in the grand scheme of things, that character that got killed off didn't really add much to the plot up to that point, and her only purpose at the time was probably just to push the surviving characters forward, push their narrative forward. Same thing with like The Last of Us Part 2. There was a major character in that got killed, and that character death was very sad and very dramatic and like unsettling and sudden, but it pushed the plot forward, and that was like kind of the theme of that game. And I get that the actors probably didn't love that they got killed off so soon, especially after playing those characters that are very beloved and were very central to the stories that they were part of. But that's just kind of part of the job, and it's unfortunate. But like, yeah, that's kind of that's show business, I guess. And we'll see if Foggy's death pans out in the rest of the season. As far as like my thoughts on the actual 2 episodes themselves, I thought they were fine. Like I think it's a good start. Definitely not the same as a Netflix show, not even close. But I get that they're not really trying to be, and that's totally fine. Like I'm not really asking for them to really copy what was done before. I think they just need to respect what was done before and kind of put their own spin on it. But I think what they're doing, especially after hearing them pretty much retooling what they've done before, I think what this is right now is fine. We'll see. It got really good reviews. Like people who already saw it gave it really good reviews, so we'll see if they're right or if they're smoking that Marvel copium, getting that Marvel paycheck. But we'll see. Will I do a video when the season ends? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, that's really my thoughts on Foggy dying so early. Like, I just have a lot of mixed thoughts on it. I like I said, on paper it makes sense, but in execution, I don't think it really for me, I don't think it really landed. But let me know what y'all thought of Foggy's death. I'm very curious because I saw people online talking about it, and people were just kind of sad about it, but no one was really like saying, "Oh, they shouldn't have done that," or "Oh, like I would have done it this way," or anything like that. They were just kind of saying like, "Oh no, my favorite character died," and like imagine like coming back for this show, this revival, and then getting killed off in the first, like things like that, like things I've been saying already. But no criticism. So I'm just curious to see if anyone felt like that didn't land or whatever. But yeah, that's about it. Also, I had this weird idea. I wanted to plug another show I've been watching. It's called Win or Lose. It's like the Pixar show, like Pixar's first like completely original TV show. It's like about this softball team, like middle school softball team, going to a championship, but it's kind of told in a way like it's telling the same events from different people's perspective. You kind of get like it's kind of like there's everyone has their own story. Everyone's the main character of their own story. It's kind of like that theme, but the way it's presented, it's like like they actually animate people's feelings and they animate like I guess their emotions and like their point of view of like what's going on. Like someone could be looking at like a dating app and looking at it as a video game, while other people could look at him and think he's a nerd or something like that. And it's just a really cool idea. And I've been enjoying it. I hate that it's being released weekly. I wish it was all released at the same time because I hate waiting to see who's next and like how the story's gonna wrap up and all that stuff. But it's pretty good. Like, I highly recommend that if you're curious. It's kind of like Inside Out and Big Mouth, like a kid-friendly version of Big Mouth. It's kind of funny to say if you know what Big Mouth is. But yeah, if you want something good that's on Disney Plus, also Andor. I need to watch Andor. I heard the season 2 of that is coming out. I need to watch season 1 because everyone's telling me that's really good. But yeah, that's about it. Kind of a short video, I guess. But yeah, I just want to talk about my thoughts on Foggy stuff and some other stuff. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.